What is up, wrestling fans? Here are the top 5 takes from this week's Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. If you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe, and make sure to check us out every day at 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern Time in America, and 12 p.m. Pacific.
I'm just utterly disgusted by this. It's 2025. There's no reason for us to push Brock Lesnar to the moon. There's no reason for a route that John Cena is on a retirement tour, and he's beaten the likes of Randy Orton. He's beaten the likes of CM Punk. He beat Cody Rhodes for a title, but the roadblock and losses the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. It is 2025. This guy is not a full-time talent. This guy does nothing of significance for the WWE. The WWE has been better since he has been non-relevant to the roster. And this is what we're doing. This was just something that was a stupid match when they booked it, but the style and how it finished out, completely utter BS, if you ask me. It started off on a bad note, and I feel like that kind of led the way for the rest of the show.
I think of AEW as a very good wrestling company. I think of WWE as a very good business. And I think there's different layers to that. WWE is, of course, a good wrestling company, but they are a much better business than AEW. They have a lot more guys on the corporate side working, and I think they're just a step ahead in terms of that. And yeah, like Fernando Zayas just said in the comments, Netflix buying WBD could be a dark day for wrestling. Yeah, it could be for other competition. Yeah, for sure.
It would definitely be a very dark day for wrestling. There's absolutely no denying that. But Josh, the question I actually want to ask you as a counterpoint to that is, how did you first get into wrestling, like as a child?
My dad. My dad watched wrestling as a kid. My brothers watched wrestling as a kid. And now I'm the youngest brother, and I watch wrestling.
Did you go to any events or anything like that?
I went to every event that came to Philadelphia since I was 5 years old, maybe.
And would you say that the fact that you attended those events has made you more of a wrestling fan to this day?
100%. Yeah.
So my counterpoint is, can AEW anytime soon match WWE? Absolutely not. Not even close. But right now, and it is a tactic, Tony Khan's even admitted it this week, they are charging a lot less for their tickets, whereas WWE are increasing their ticket prices. And Mark Shapiro said the other day they are going to continue to rise them. So if families can no longer attend WWE events, but they can attend AEW events, who is to say in 20 years' time, because of childhood nostalgia, because they've been brought up on the product, there maybe will be a lot more AEW fans coming up through the ranks compared to WWE fans.
I think you're right. I think that's a great point. I think the thing with this is, okay, yeah, it's a complicated counterpoint because WWE is going to keep increasing their prices until they no longer sell out, because they had a point where in 2018, 2019, you went to a Raw or SmackDown taping, they would have the upper sections covered, and they were only selling lower bowls like AEW does. But they've just been getting consecutive sellouts nonstop, every city, every country. So they're going to keep raising the prices. And I think what they're doing is that I think they're going to keep raising the prices until they see a drop in attendance, like a significant drop. And then that's when they know they are at their price. And I do agree. I think it is overly expensive, and I think it's ridiculous. But I do think that's what they're doing. I think they're just gouging their price to figure out where that line meets, where it's a lot of money. They're still bringing in a lot of money, but it's also enough for people to still attend. But
if people are still attending now, surely the line's already been crossed for families.
100%. I agree. That is the issue. And that's where AEW is certainly leading. And you're right. I think if AEW is to be WWE, it is in that category, and it's in 15 and 20 years, like you said, because everybody right now, like us, our age, we are WWE fans because we grew up on it and we attended events and it was affordable. But the people that are, 5 and 6 years old and are entering that phase where they're going to start seeing these superhero-like wrestlers on TV, and AEW is in your town, it's affordable. You're 100% right. I think those people that are, 6 years old right now and 20 years, AEW, they could be bigger AEW fans than WWE.
A lot of fans are theorizing that potentially this could be a way for Edge to return to WWE for one match, perhaps, with John Cena before then going back to AEW or something. I don't know, but Des, I want to get your thoughts on this out of the gates.
All right, before I go, I can't really see very well, so I'm going to get my glasses. Put them on real quick. And now I see clearly. I see the vision. The vision, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. Nay. It's Edge versus John Cena. This is going to happen. This is going to break the internet. WWE is all about the moments. They're all about the pop and the pizzazz, the nostalgia. It's going to hit you right in the face. We're going to get Edge and John Cena one last time. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Should I feed into delusion? You should, because this is the reality. Let's see what happens.
I feel like the chances of Edge returning for a one-off match against John Cena is the same chances of seeing Chris Benoit in the WWE Hall of Fame. It is just not going to happen.
As soon as the Death Riders go away, out comes Darby Allin. He's out of the body bag. He bounces out of the coffin, and he immediately takes out Jon Moxley. He puts him in the body bag. He puts some gasoline on him, and then he sets the man on fire. Jon Moxley set on fire. This was crazy, and the craziest part about this was the minute they started counter-programming WWE. They started counter-programming WWE with Jon Moxley being on fire. I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit Vince Russo, but in this case, I absolutely love it. What are your thoughts, Clark, on this?
I was blown away by it, and I had the exact same thought you did, too. I go, oh my goodness, Palooza just started. Oh my goodness. And they took the biggest name besides basically Chris Jericho that's crossed over from WWE to AEW, and they set him on fire. The statement, it was like breaking the throne. It was a throwback move. I was stunned by it. First off, I'm sitting there thinking, like, where's the fire extinguisher when you need it? But not around, obviously. Like, yeah, break glass in case of emergency. This would look like an emergency the entire time. Even the match itself did, with the coffin, the body bag, every little bit of it was nasty as could be. And what I liked about it, you mentioned the counter programming aspect. You knew you were not going to get that type of programming on WrestlePalooza. Not on ESPN. That's not possible. So the brilliance of doing something that you can't or wouldn't on the other side with the timing was off the charts. Mox and Darby aren't scared of anything. Those guys will do whatever it is, whatever it takes to put on a show for everybody, and I appreciated it so much. The match was, I almost felt like, underrated because the fire moment sort of outshined it in a way. And I honestly thought the match was so good. And then suddenly, like, wait a minute, all you can think about is the fire.
2 months ago, we were on a Mailbag Monday, and someone asked about Triple H and his bookings, and I said Triple H needs to give some of the creative over to Paul Heyman. And you people, I'm looking at every single one of y'all out there watching right now, came at me in the comments. I was called all kinds of names. I was fat. I needed to go touch grass. Now look at you. Now look at all of you talking about how terrible Triple H is doing. No, but when I said it, everybody had a problem. All you need to go touch grass. All you need to get out of your mom's basements, go out there and understand what wrestling's about. Because that was for you guys. My kids read those comments. They laughed at them too. But some of them were really funny. Some of them were really creative. Some of them were really funny. But when I said it, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, all of y'all are seeing it.